Welcome to a cold day at the farm. My name's Emery. I'm a farmer here in West Central Texas, the Rolling Plains, and it's cold, but not freezing yet. And the cotton is still very green. So I've been driving around a little bit trying to decide if it's dry enough to spray. That would be the biggest thing. It is really, we've got lots of rain and rain on top of rain, and cotton is wet. The ground is wet. The cotton is still wet. It is it's green. We have lots of leaves from all the rain we've gotten over since it started raining, and so I need to decide what to do with my life. So I've gotten the rains that we needed and the warmer temperatures that we needed to try to make a late crop, and so I think it's going to do that. But now today is Monday. It's the week of Thanksgiving. It's going to get down to lower 30s today, but not freezing. They're not saying. Although the way it feels this morning, it feels like it could be freezing tonight. So this all may be moot if it gets down to that low. But Tuesday warmer, Wednesday warmer, Thursday Thanksgiving, a chance of 30 degrees or so, 31 maybe. And so my question or my thought was, should I get out here to try to spray some of this, to try to drop some leaves, mostly try to get some bowls to open. I don't want to get frozen if it does freeze. And so there's a risk of that. And then so if I can't get out here because it's black, is it worth paying the money to have an airplane come try to put some out and get over this? I don't know. It's black, and I'm not going to walk out here too far. It's just wet. And I'm just right here by the barn, and so some water does come across here, but it's wet. And, some of this is junky cotton, but that bowl should open, but it is hard, and I was hoping that it would pop once I squeezed it, but it's not doing that. See, we have our old crop cotton that's not very good and small, and it's been open for a long time. And then we've got this top crop, the stuff that's opening, and I was hoping that once you squeeze it, it would pop, meaning it's drying out on its own. But I can't go very far. This cotton's not very good here. It's a lot better in some other places, but that's still the picture. Black on the ground still. Cotton that is open, it's not great. And cotton that is starting to open in some places that's decent, with quite a few of these bowls that I wish were already smiling that I could get to pop open. So some Ethifon would really help that to open, because I don't want to lose that. If I've waited this long to try to make a crop, I'd like to give those bowls a chance. Holy moly. I'd like to give those bowls a chance to open, because that makes me more money. And so anyways, I'm going to meet with my Samuel today, and we're going to look at some stuff and try to get an idea. It's obviously there's a cost to spraying using my own equipment, but there's definitely a cost using an airplane. So is it worth the extra expense? Will I make that much more in cotton by using the airplane to spray? Or will a light freeze, 30 degrees, just do enough to try to kind of dry stuff down to pop it on its own? We'll find out today. Much better in here. So been doing some things, getting the my new module builder serviced and up to snuff. Dad done some welding for us. We had some electrical stuff, just things. Got the new pins put in and the tires put back on, and got the builder moved around. And Dad's been, like I said, doing some welding. Noticed there was a leak inside, and I'll show you. It's just cold, so I'm going to explain some here first. But there's a valve inside the cab of the builder that raises and lowers the wheels, and there was a leak there, and so there's a fitting. This is the fitting, goes inside the valve, and it was leaking just right here by this the nut part here. So I got this O-ring, and there's an O-ring and a backup ring. The backup ring is what was actually split in half. So I had a little bit of a tricky time finding that. Nobody local. So Abilene Hydraulics, if you are in the area, even if you're not, Abilene Hydraulics, those guys are awesome. They have everything, and they just have a shelf of stuff, and they just went to it and grabbed the right pieces. Whew, it is cold. I'm just not ready for this. I'm just kind of a baby. All right, so here's the builder. See, it's moved here to work on it better. Still have some welding to do up there on the bridge, but I needed to be here because it's going to be a little bit precarious. But see, the wheels are on, all's good. This bracket up here was bent, so I heated it and bent that back, and Dad welded that while I was gone. So I'm going to put that bumper stop back on. What else did we do? Greased everything. He did some welding. Where did he do the welding? Maybe? I don't guess he got to it. He's going to do that welding, I guess. I thought he did it. No, not yet. So he's got to do that welding. I'm over here. Ooh, that's cold again. So their pump, we got this, we got a new torque arm put on here, chained. And so when the pump turns on, it pulls this tight against that chain, and that keeps this pump from spinning around and ruining everything. You don't want that. I may get a thicker chain just to make sure, because I don't know if that chain is stout enough. This is the old pump. I actually ordered a new pump because we had some weird noises coming from this one. I think it's okay. It's not doing it anymore, but have a backup. The same for Dad and mine. We're going to replace some seals front and back. It's not leaking as bad because Dad, he drove the old ones in. Those seals create a kind of a groove, and then if you can get them seated in a different location, they'll seal better. So the old seals are sealing better, but I still think leaking a little. So I'm going to get new seals put in that. As long as when we check this filter here, this piece right there, there's no metal in there, that would indicate, man, I'm not thinking very good. It's cold. Pump failure. So we'll find that out. All right. So this valve right here is going to go right here. And so then that will help, but we're going to drain the oil to do that first. So that'll go in. I'll need to get a longer suction hose. I'm going to get a new one of these, and longer, because right now I've got this on the links, not on the quick hitch. I had to take the quick hitch off. I think I showed you that, but I'd like to have it on because we just rather use it. But that would push me, what does that do? It pushes me further, trying to think. Yeah, it pushes the builder further back. So the builder's like here, which made these hoses too short. This hose might work. It's got some more distance, but I'm going to go ahead and replace it just because would be very bad if that one goes out, and I don't want to take any chances. So I'm going to get a longer one of that. I've got more freedom of length on that because it's not, I'd rather not this one be bowed way out or anything. But so new hoses there. I'll get some measurements and we'll replace this filter. And then these two lines are the lines that go to the wheels. And so on I think I've told you this, on Dad's builder, we obviously raise the 3-point from the tractor and the wheels from the tractor. So all we do is the gate from down here, and that's got power all the time. Well, this one's functions a little different, but we figured out that the auto system still works even when it's the valve are bypassed to the wheels and gate. I'll show you that. So I think we can leave it bypassed, have power to the gate all the time, and have power to the wheels all the time. But instead of having to get up in the cab to raise the wheels, I think we can take where this hose is right here, cap this hose, and then tee in and put a hoses that run to the tractor, to this remote, and be able to run that from the tractor just like his. So that's exciting. I'm gonna get up in here and show you what else is going on. So I was trying to get this cleaned up. It's a little dirty in here, leaking because of some stuff. I'm gonna put this back together. So this was leaking really bad. This valve that I got with those new O-rings goes right in here. This hose over there plugs into that, and then this whole body bolts right there. So it was just sopping wet, nasty mess right here from that just dripping all the time. So it has obviously still been kind of dripping since I took it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that back together now so I can wrap it up. But this is the valve that controls the wheels, and this is where it gets power to the gate. Okay, luckily the north is this way, so I'm a little bit protected here, but that was supposed to be plugging my hole. I don't know if it was. Alright, one thing with a little bit of oil on these O-rings. Good to get a little bit on there so it slides in easier, hopefully. All right, moment of truth. What am I going to use here? Big wrenches, tight spaces. Not my favorite. Oh, all right, this is a compression type fitting. So, no O-rings here. Sorry if I'm grunting on camera. It takes effort to tighten stuff, you know? I got it all put together. Now I'm going to put some more, basically kitty litter. Just to absorb some more of this oil so I can vacuum it out later. Okay, to put this one up, by this I mean this bumper, and it's still cold and windy. Yeah, I know, it's not, it's Texas, you know, Texas is maybe tougher, I know. Now I'm on Dad's stripper, and I'm going to take some shields off because maybe thought that comes off. It did on my side, on mine. All right, I'm gonna take these shields off because I'm gonna need to get working on some of this stuff. This one comes off easy. All right, same as mine, really. Mine has a double flighted auger and a chute on that side that kicks burrs. Sorry, you can't see my hand. Kicks burrs out that side and this side. Otherwise, it's really the same. The bearings I'm talking about are these bearings right here. I've got new ones for those. But there's a foam piece on the inside of this saw drum. Obviously you can't get to it from here, so we got to slide the whole saw out, both of them. And to do that, I have to be able to take some stuff off here. I've got to take off this main belt. I believe that's the only one I got to take off. And then probably these pulleys will come out, and that'll allow me to get some bolts there, and then we can eventually get this whole thing, get these plates off and get this whole drum to slide out enough to hopefully be able to get in there, put the foam in on those sides without having to take all these bars off and all that stuff. That's what we're hoping. So, but I know I got to take the belt off, so I'm going to do that and then go from there. All right, first thing to do that is this spring, just like what's on the engine I did before, but this spring pulls on this idler, which keeps this belt tight everywhere. So there's two nuts here, jam nut. So I've got to loosen it. There's just lots of threads. This one will be easy. Sorry. This one will be easy. That inside one will have spring pressure on it, so it'll just take a long time. Well, it's still cold. It's time for lunch. I've been on the phone. I've been doing some greasing. I got most of the other Dad's module builder greased and both tractors greased. And I'm gonna go home. Been on the phone a lot, talking with people, trying to decide what to do about this cotton. So I'm gonna meet with Samuel after lunch, and we're gonna look at it all. I got another buddy that owns a crop spraying business, airplanes, and so got some numbers from him, and he could start me tomorrow if that's what I wanted to do. So I'm gonna talk with Samuel, talk to Dad a little bit. I mean, it's a cost. It's $8.50 an acre for the application, plus the chemical cost on top of that. So, you know, that's $3 or so on the application, maybe a little higher. So we're looking at $11, $12, $13 an acre over the acres. I'd have to make like 18 to 20 pounds per acre to pay for the spraying. So that's the kind of numbers I'm going to look at with Samuel and say, hey, is there that much cotton out there that's going to be helped by doing this spray? I've got lots of leaves, and so the airplane's supposed to push the product down better than a ground sprayer, but it's such a less volume, like 3 gallons per acre spray from a plane versus like 12 that what we do or more with a ground rig. But they can push that air down. So I don't know. Got to get that Ethifon to open the bowls to the bowls and get it through the leaves. So I don't know. We'll figure it all out. But I'm going to lunch. I'll let you know what I learned. I just met with Samuel, and I think I'm probably going to spray. I'm out. We looked at over there by the barn. I'm over here, closer near my parents' house. These farms over here, and just looking to see if I see anything that's looks different than that. This is definitely not as bushy a plant and not as good a cotton over here, but what I'm still seeing consistently is these bolls up top are hard, so they're mature, but they're not popping open, so they're not ready on their own to come open, and they're not great big size, I know, but these might open on their own after a freeze, but what he said is they may take a month to dry down before they're ready to harvest, because they just are too wet, and I don't really want to do that. That would make harvest forever. Today is November 20 something. That'd be almost Christmas before we even start harvesting. I don't want to do that. Could lose some lint pounds if we didn't get them open, which would be bad. Lose poundage. Also could have bad quality if we don't get them open. Some of them maybe are not quite ready, and those would probably never open if they got frozen shut. But with the ethylene, they may open a little bit. So I think there's benefit to spray. Now I just got to decide how much to spray and all that. So that's what I'm trying to decide. All right, next farm. This farm is way better. You can just tell. There's just better, more cotton here. So this has more open stuff. It was doing better before the heat, and then it's also still got the stuff on top. So it's again, I think same boat. I'm thinking I'm just going to spray everything. Like this, like that's not much cotton, but it is hard, and I think it's mature. Maybe there's something in there. Maybe that adds to some. It's probably bad quality. I get hit on quality, but I get maybe get some lint out of it. I do have some insurance protection that helps on quality. So if I'm below a certain value, then it bumps me up automatically. So the stinker of this deal is if I could spray, if it wasn't too wet, I could spray all this myself and save that $8.50 an acre. Again, I know there's costs for using my own stuff, but it would essentially it'd just be the chemical costs. Now he can get over all of my stuff very quickly. The plane could, by what I mean them. And so that's nice. They're efficient. I don't have to rush to get my tractor unhooked and hooked to the sprayer. So there's benefits to all that, but it just, cost of convenience, I guess. Here's the last one. This is maybe not the whole field, but it's this cotton's real big and got lots of leaves still. Lots of cotton here at the top. Not much here, a little more at the bottom, but not like I just was. You see, that's not very good quality, but anyways, I think it's the same. Cotton that's here that's mature and quite a bit of it, but not popping. So I think we'll spray it. I was just talking to my buddy Wade at Tri-County Sprayers. I got to do a couple things before, but I got to get him some chemical and go over maps and all that stuff. I've never done this before. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's a good experience. I think it's still, again, because it could freeze still, and it still take a very long time for it to dry down, and I need to get this cotton stripped so I can get wheat planted. So I think it makes sense. I wish that I could spray it, and that wasn't as wet as I was expecting just then. But wherever it is wet, then I'll bog down, and then I'll pack the ground, and then the wheat won't come up there. So darned if you don't. So I think I'm going to spray. Well, it's after lunch. It's actually almost 3 o'clock. I had late lunch today, just trying to decide all this, what to do. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and spray everything. There's a guy just moved a ground rig sprayer in just north of the barn here. I don't. That has already been defoliated. It looks like he's going for a kill shot, which if it's going to freeze, I don't know if I would do that, but to each their own. So I'm thinking that maybe because the leaves are off of those plants, that ground probably has gotten more sun, and it's probably drier. The ground is, but everything is just wet still. And maybe I could spray some with my sprayer at my parents' house, maybe because it's on the hill, maybe. But I'm sure there's going to be wet spots there too. And then I would have to unhook the sprayer, get there's just lots of things I'd have to do. And so there is a convenience fee here. And so I think I'm going to do it. The math is, if I use I have this chemical, one of the chemicals I need, I have to buy the other. It's fairly inexpensive. It's going to be between $3 and $3.50 an acre. So let's say I could spray everything myself. That's a cost, $3.50 an acre, because this other chemical I have right there, I'll talk about later, I have left over is free. Free. I already paid for it. So the $8.50 is the extra cost. And so the math on that is by the acres and dividing all that, 13 pounds per acre I need to make up to justify that cost. At least that's the way it works in my mind. Is if I spray, by not spraying, maybe say this better. So if I sprayed, would I make at least $13 pounds per acre more, at least, or more, by spraying? That's what I have to kind of decide. And how do I know that? There's no way of knowing. If I would only make 5 pounds extra, well, then I'm losing the 8 pounds. You know, that's not a ton of dollars, but still dollars per acre. And so, yes, there is an expense, but I think that by spraying, I stand to make more pounds than what it's going to cost me, if you think of it in terms of those same dollars. At least that's what I'm deciding. Everything looks kind of the same. Bowls at the top, they're not great big. Some of them are really big. Some of them are good size, but they're just really hard and not looking like they are going to open on their own. And so, what if they don't open? Then I would be really mad that I didn't spray. What if they do open on their own? Well, if I spray, we'll never know. But that's my thinking, and it's not going to kill me. Like I'll be okay. But I think it's hard for me because I have the equipment to do it myself. That's what's making me kind of hem-haw around on this deal. So, anyways, I need to get this towed out. I bought this chemical. This is going to help drop the leaves. This is called Gramoxone. It's going to help drop the leaves off the plant and dry it down. Hopefully dry the bolls up some themselves. The other chemical I'm buying is called Ethifon, and it is supposed to release that ethylene gas, which tells fruits and vegetables and things to ripen. And so it's going to tell those bolls to ripen and open. And so that's what we're going to spray. I got to get this chemical to him, but I have some things in the way. I'm thinking I can get to it with the pallet jack is behind the four-wheeler, move all this out. I think I can get here. Hopefully I can shimmy through here. It's going to be a little tight. I got it out. It was, caught my breath now, but had to kind of wiggle my way through there because, it was tight. But I got it. I'm going to go get the skid steer, load it on my truck, and I'm going to Hamlin. That's not going anywhere, maybe. Now, it's not going anywhere, real skilled like a trucker, getting things secured. So, I'm not going far, about 20 miles to Hamlin, which is where Tri-County Sprayers is located. The chemical will be delivered. This stuff, I have no idea how much is in here. Holds 120 gallons. That would be halfway, that's 60. So what's your guess? 40? Maybe? 40 would be more than enough. So, I think it'll be good.